Hi everyone, my name is Mohammed Khan. I'm an attorney at MNK Law and I'm committed to empowering businesses to become the best version of themselves. What we're going to do during our resource series with these videos is provide you with actionable content that you can quickly digest and implement into your businesses right away. So 3 topics, 3 minutes. Renee, go and start the clock. Here we go, first topic. How do you run your one-to-one meetings with your staff? Well, what I like to do, depending on the size of the organization, is recommend doing a weekly or bi-weekly one-to-one meeting. 48 hours prior to that meeting, your direct reports should be sending you their task list and a list of items they'd like to discuss. You go through all of those items, and then the last 10 minutes are for the managers to follow up on anything that they'd like to discuss. Now, prior to jumping in to the discussion points during your one-to-ones, I recommend that you build a rapport with your staff, ask them how they're doing, ask about their families. Don't jump straight into work. It'll help you build an honest conversation with your staff members, and it's not always all about work. It's also about cultivating an environment where people enjoy where they're working. I'm ahead of schedule, so what we're going to do is move on to the next topic. Renee, go ahead and put up the second topic. Let's get the timer going and start. What are the most overlooked clauses in an NDA? An NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. It's usually an agreement that 2 parties enter into prior to entering into a more formal agreement. With the NDA, you want to pay attention to what's the confidential information, how is it defined, but specifically you want to look at the end of that section and there'll be exclusions to confidential information. Sometimes one of the exclusions will be that the recipient already received the information. One note that you can add in, it's a very quick edit, there needs to be documented evidence that they already received that information. Another item to look out into when you're dealing with these NDAs is the term. Sometimes you'll see the term is 2 years from the start of the agreement. Other times you'll see the term is 3 years after the end of the agreement. Depending on how confidential the information is, if you're the discloser or the receiver, you want to make sure that that term is really taken care of. And the reason why you want to do it, I'm going over, but the reason why you want to do it is to ensure that your confidential information remains protected. What you'll see sometimes is a party will enter into an NDA 2 years from the effective date, the date that the NDA was entered into. They won't enter into a more formal, extensive agreement, and they'll rely on this. They'll do business together, and 5 years later, they'll think the NDA is still effective, but it's sunsetted. All right, our third and final topic. Renee, go and put it up. Let's start the clock. Here we go. What are 2 qualities I should look for when hiring an attorney? Well, one thing you want to look for is if they're a good listener. Good listening is key to understanding what the actual problem is. And number 2, they should be a solutions provider. If they're able to ask a lot of questions, really understand what the problem is, and then pivot to providing various solutions to you and your management team, that's a good surefire sign that you've got a good attorney. In contrast, if the attorney tells you, you know what, you can't do that, or they don't provide additional options, or they're not asking questions, and they're just stopping the discussion short during your consultation call, that's a really good indicator that you probably want to keep looking for an attorney. Again, they got to be a good listener and a solution finder. With that, I want to thank you for watching this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you need any additional help or information, go ahead and reach out to us at info@mnklawyers.com. See you on the next one.